Transcendence. We are at home today at the estate, and we are going to shoot a little video about an upcoming workshop that we are putting together as a team. And this workshop is called Act on Your Intention. And what this workshop is actually going to be about is about how to basically quantum leap into your new character so that you can embody and become the character that you know you are within. Basically becoming the higher version of yourself. And from my background, I've noticed that it takes at least 3 days to really allow the body to embody the new character. And so this workshop is going to be 3 days long. It's going to be very intensive. It's going to be very hands-on, and it's going to be very much about you getting to know the bigger aspect of yourself and allowing your body to become that version. So the reason why I invited this group today is because we are all in the process of doing this. We have all shifted characters in a big way, and I feel that it is the missing piece to the law of attraction work. Law of attraction teaches, visualize and believe and receive. But what we're going to teach in this workshop is how to become. Because unless you become something, you cannot own something. You cannot have something unless you are that thing that you are trying to attract. So yeah, what we're doing right now is we're working on becoming. Does anybody have anything they want to jump in and say?
Well, how do we become? We become through practice. First of all, we become through intention. So we set a clear intention of what we want to become, what results of that becoming we desire. So how will that change our lives? Where will we live? Where will we work? Where will we play? And what material additions will we gain through that? Which people will we interface with? And to do that, we have to practice, and we have to practice consistently. And in the class, there'll be elements from method acting, which all the actors and all the celebrities have been trained in and use, and they become they embody the character in the films and the movies that you see on screen. So we'll be delving into part of that. And what else will we be delving into?
Well, through that process, Jessica and I know D. Mike and I, well, all of us really are working together on that, connecting each of the 7 chakras to the 7 aspects of manifestation to the 7 ways that we're creating of shifting your character.
Yes, and that's going to be the exciting part of the weekend as it's going to unfold. Basically, if I was going to sum up what we're going to be working on, is we're going to be working on remote viewing, because you need to be able to see yourself as the highest version of yourself on that timeline so that you can figure out how to connect and align with that self. We're gonna teach quantum jumping and how to do that with your body, mind, and soul. Because a lot of us, we leap consciously 10 steps ahead and we leave our bodies behind. Our bodies are the ones that are packed with all the behavior. And we do not move into self-love without action. So we're going to be teaching basically how we are going to bring our bodies with us to the new character so that they may be able to play the new role with us. Otherwise, there's a contradiction where our consciousness is way ahead of where our body and behavior is as outlined. And then we don't want anybody to leave the workshop and go back into their old behavior. So what we're going to be doing over this 3-day period is basically creating the body to align completely with the soul's intention.
Perfect. And does anybody have an example of when we've all done that in our lives recently?
Sure.
Please.
Yes, definitely.
Let's hear it.
Sure. Something that's definitely come to my attention in the manifestation process, and talking about jumping timelines, is really holding the vision. Once you've set that intention, is holding the vision while your frequency catches up. So especially in my position, being in the streets of Compton, where everything looks sort of desolate, and you can be building up your escrow, you can be setting your seeds, and then it's really easy to just kind of shift back into your old self and not let your body catch up, and just really hold that vision while you bring up that frequency.
Yep, absolutely. And you just did that.
Yes.
So where were you 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, I was dreaming of this place. I was just getting done with my accident. I wasn't able to walk. I was really kind of figuring out what that really meant energetically for me. I was setting my intentions at the same time, and I was really proud of myself for being able to use my tools and to be able to hold that vision in my head and know that it was going to happen, know that I was going to end up here, and that things were going to end up even better than how I could have held it in my head, and just continue to work through the process and bring up my frequency while still holding that vision.
Right.
Awesome.
And so now he's here.
And I'd like to add that in the process, like it almost sounds like a chore, like, oh gosh, gotta do this. But what I'm realizing is that when I have done it, it's been about awareness and flowing with it. And so if you're in a position like you were in, or we've all been there, different circumstances, where things do not look good, you're having a dark night of the soul, or you're not happy with your life. What I tell people is you can sit in that, and that's like torture. But when you have the faith or the belief or the dream or vision, and you hold on to that, that is actually the relief.
Yes.
That is actually
It's
what brings it forward.
It's almost like surrendering.
Right.
Because if you can surrender the obligation and you can surrender the character role of this person who had to suffer, then what you're doing is making space, which is the 7th step of manifestation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take, like Annette said, everyone through a very scientific yet spiritual process of the 7s. So 7 chakras, 7 steps of manifestation, 7 alignments that will shift you into your new parallel reality within basically 3-day period of time. But even better, after that, you will be able to be in any reality and say, my character wouldn't be doing this. And be in a high enough level of awareness that you would be able to shift out of it with such a higher level of consciousness after the workshop that you would never put yourself in that position again to be in that lower frequency, which makes your body basically level up. See, what we're noticing is consciously we're shifting into the 5th dimension, but the body is still locked in that 3rd dimensional programming of form, responsibility, obligations, suffering, and here we are consciously moving into freedom, love, and passion and joy, and the contradiction is about basically being able to embody the higher frequency within the cellular structure. So we're going to be doing a lot of biochemistry, a lot of physics, a lot of quantum mechanics, but we're going to utilize it all from a play space. So it's going to be like a weekend of play where you're going to get to know yourself. And I will give you a little sneak peek that everyone who signs up for the workshop is going to get an email about a week prior to the workshop with very strict instructions on what you can and cannot bring to this workshop. And I will tell you that the thing that you don't get to bring is your stories, is your name, is who you've been and where you've been. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to show up as no self. And what this allows us to do is move into a flawless space of learning how to remote view and become other things. And as we become other things, we let go of the character of who we've been. Not that we want to let go of completely, but what we want to do is let go of that hold, that resistance, that judgment of self long enough to make space for us to embody the higher version of ourselves. So it's going to be basically 3 days of play and self-discovery.
And exactly after that 3 days, you'll be so super self-aware of yourself. Any moment that you're in a position that isn't highest self and highest joy, you will recognize it and be able to transmute it into joy and freedom at the end of the 3 days. So that's how we all got here.
Yeah. Amber, you want to add anything before we end off?
I would just like to say that I've noticed that through my own dark night of the soul, I basically changed my entire world within the time frame of a month. But given the current frequency of the planet, it's speeding it up for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if
Making it easier.
right, yeah. So if you're just now finding us, or if you're just now discovering all of these things, then you're in luck because David changed his whole world in 3 weeks. So I mean, things are speeding up, and it's a possibility for you to be the person you've always wanted to be.
Yeah. And you'll take home practice. So my goal is this took me 7 years to do for myself, and what I want to do is shortcut that so that in 7 weeks from the day you leave the workshop, your entire universe will look exactly how you dreamt it to be your whole life.
Exciting.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.